Hi everyone, this video is going to go over the questions that we created for Papa's Parrot. So make sure if you haven't read the story or heard the story that Ms. Maldonado read on her YouTube channel, make sure you stop this video, go back and find her story or Papa's Parrot story. Listen to it twice before you jump into answering questions, okay? Also, make sure you have a pen or a pencil with your SPEC folder ready. If you don't have your SPEC folder, that's fine. Just make sure you have your reader's notebook. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you so we can go over the slides and answer these questions. So first slide is, after reading the short story, select the option that lists the proper sequencing of the story. Remember, sequencing is where the events that happen in the story, that they're in order, and make sure that it's from the beginning to end and it follows exactly what happened from the beginning to the end of the story. So let's look at A. Harry's dad owns a candy store. Harry's dad buys a parrot. Harry stops coming around the shop because he'd rather spend time with his friends. Harry's dad asks Harry to help with the store. And Harry becomes very ill and can't leave Harry's dad becomes very ill and can't leave the hospital. Think about A. Is that what really happened from the beginning to end? Is that the proper sequencing? Let's read B. Harry visits the candy store. Harry's dad buys a parrot. Harry stops coming around. Harry gets older and spends more time with his friends. Harry hears the parrot say, "Where's Harry?" when he would stop at the shop. Harry helps at the candy shop. And finally, Harry's father gets ill. Use the process of elimination. Think and see which one is correct or which one isn't, and keep that in mind. Let's read the last one, letter C. Harry visits his father's store every day. Harry stopped coming around as he gets older. Harry's dad bought a parrot to keep him company. Harry's father becomes ill. Harry tries to tend to the candy store while his dad is in the hospital. And the parrot constantly repeats, "Where's Harry?" Harry realizes that those were his dad's words. So use the process of elimination. Remember, pick out the one that does not, that 100% you know that's not correct. So that way it leaves you with two other options, and that way you'll have a better chance of answering properly. I'm going to go ahead, or I'm going to ask you to pause the video and really think through it, read it one more time, and see which one would be your answer, A, B, or C. Welcome back, guys. So if you picked C, Harry visited his father's store every day. If you remember, that's what happens at the beginning of the story for sure. Harry stopped coming around as he gets older. I'll show you the clip of the story here. So remember that at the beginning, his father owns the store, a candy and nut shop. Harry would come with his friends every day to buy candy or to spend time at the shop with his father. As he got older, he lost interest in coming to the store along with his friends, and they just started spending time elsewhere. Because he lost interest, again, Harry's dad didn't have anyone to talk to or spend time with, so he decided to buy a parrot. Okay, and he named him Rocky. So he buys a parrot. He spends a lot of time with him. He talks to the parrot a lot, and Harry becomes embarrassed. He sees his dad talking to this parrot every time he passes by the shop, so he tends not to stop by as often as he used to before. Mr. Tillian, which is Harry's dad, ends up becoming ill. He gets sick and he ends up in the shop. He ends up in the hospital, and Harry or Harry's dad asks if he can help him tend to the store while he's in the hospital. Harry definitely says, yes, I'll go ahead and help with the shop and make sure that Rocky is fed. And towards the end, he realizes, as the parrot keeps asking and keeps saying the same words over and over and over again, where's Harry, where's Harry, he realizes that those were the words that his father used to say often, asking where Harry was. And then we see at the end that he's crying and realizing that, or wishing probably that he spent a lot of time, that he wishes he would have spent more time with his father. So that is, if you go back, I'll go back to the actual slide. Letter C actually gives us those same steps of the sequencing of the story. So letter C would have been the proper answer. Okay, let's go to our next slide. I want to point something out though. As you read the question, remember that right here, for example, I have the word best highlighted in bold black letters, but you're not going to often see that when you're taking tests or answering questions on either an SBAC test or any of the tests that you might be practicing, if not in 3rd grade and 4th grade. So make sure you pay attention to that, because you're going to have to look at those clue words. Like this one's like a word that kind of gives you a clue, right? It wants you to select the best, right? Because in the passage, or I'm sorry, in your options, you might have more than one that is probably an okay answer to pick, but they want you to collect or select the best, okay? So I'll read the sentence or the question. Which sentence from the passage best shows that despite how embarrassed Harry was of his father, he still enjoyed the time they shared together? So remember, Harry's embarrassed because he sees his dad talking to this parrot all the time. So, but that doesn't stop him to, at one point in the story, it shows that he still enjoys the time they share together. So which option here, A, B, C, or D, tells you that he enjoyed this time together with his dad? Let's check it out. So A is your option. Let's see, option A, Harry thought this was the strangest thing his father had ever done. Does that show, and remember the question is, he still enjoys the time they share together. Does that show, them sharing time together? Think about that. B, Harry would keep walking if he passed by the candy store and saw his father talking to the parrot. Does that show them spending and sharing time together? Okay. C, Harry and his father joked with each other at the dinner table as they always had. Okay. And D, Harry told his father that he would go to the store every day after school and unpack boxes. So which one of these is the best answer that shows Harry Harry demonstrating that he enjoyed spending this time with his father? Do you think A, B, C, or D? Go ahead and pause the video and think through all your answers and responses, or your options here, and select the best one. Okay, guys. So if you selected letter C, Harry and his father joked with each other at the dinner table as they always had, that is the correct answer. If you remember, I'm going to go back to the passage here, the text as evidence. I'm going to show you. At home, things were different. Harry and his father joked with each other at the dinner table as they always had. Mr. Tillion teased Harry about his smelly socks. Harry teased Mr. Tillion about his blueberry stomach. At home, things seemed all right. Okay, so that proves, or that shows that, yes, they enjoyed each other's company, even though he didn't, he was still a little embarrassed about him, talking to this parrot at the shop all the time. Okay, my friends, I'm going to go to the third slide. This is going to be our last slide for today for the questions. I also want to remind you that after we're done with these slides, the next day you'll make sure you search for part 2 of the questions. The ones you're looking at right now is part 1, so make sure you search for part 2. It's another 3 slides that you need to answer before we move on to the next story that we're going to be reading. So this is the last slide for today. So this is the last one. Which sentence from the passage best shows that Harry is considerate? Which sentence from the passage best shows that Harry is considerate? So remember the word considerate, think about it in Spanish, considerar, right? Considerate, that you care, or you care about something, or you're considerate about something. For example, if you see someone that is crying, you would walk up to them and check in on them and ask, are you okay, right? That's being considerate. That means you care and you're concerned about that person or concerned about that particular thing. So which one of these options here best shows that Harry is considerate? A, after school, Harry left his friend and walked to the empty shop alone. B, Harry picked the candy from the ground and put them back in the boxes. C, Harry told his father that he would go to the store after school every day to unpack boxes and feed Rocky. And D, Harry would bring in his friends every day after school to buy candy from his dad. So which one of these, and remember, and I highlighted and bolded the word best, which one of these is the best response that shows that Harry is considerate? Go ahead and pause the video and read through your options and pick out the best one. Okay, so if you selected letter, let's see. Yeah, if you selected letter C as your option, then you are correct. So letter C says, Harry told his father that he would go to the store after school every day to unpack boxes and feed Rocky. Remember, this is when Harry's dad was feeling ill and he was in the hospital. So he was so concerned about not being at the store that Harry agreed to go and take care of the store, unpack boxes, and make sure that even Rocky was being fed and taken care of. So that's Harry showing that he's considerate. He knows that his dad is going through a hard time and he wants to help out, and he's considering that he knows his dad can't do these things, so he's going to step in and do it for him. So yes, this shows that he is considerate. You might have thought that maybe Harry picked letter B. Harry picked the candy from the ground and put them back in the boxes. That is considered. I mean, if you see something on the floor, you want to pick it up, put it where it belongs. But is that the best answer that to show that Harry is considerate? That's why you want to make sure that you're selecting the best, right? Because that's what it says there. So letter C was the correct one. Thank you guys. I hope you were able to answer these correctly. If you didn't, go back and read the story one more time so you can make sure that you find the connection between these answers and your story. And remember that you have to look for part 2, and if not today, tomorrow, obviously, to make sure that you read or you take a look at the next 3 slides or the next 3 questions before we move on to the next story, okay? Thanks again. See you soon, or, if I don't, I'm sorry. But we're going to keep working together, making sure that you guys are getting the best education possible at these times and these, this time that we're all going through. But have a good day. And again, don't forget to read. Thank you guys.